Hi friends, it's Crafty Cassie and I am here today to walk through the cards that I made from Love from Lizi's beautiful July 2022 card kit, and it's called Make Life Beautiful. So a couple of things first. One is I will probably have to do this in a couple of takes. Yeah, I had pneumonia. So the craziest thing, I think I'm going to blame a lot of things on this, but I think it's the weather was 16 degrees. No, it's -3. No, it's 14 degrees. No, forget that. It's snowing outside. And I kept going outside thinking, oh, it's spring. I can work in the yard. That wasn't a smart thing to do. Also, my lungs were still quite fragile from the operation that I had had previously. And yeah, so all those things combined, and it wasn't a good thing. And suddenly I was struggling to breathe, and I was in the hospital. And so they kept me a week while they tried to navigate my oxygen and start antibiotics and make sure that I could breathe, which I can, thank you. And now I've been at home convalescing for at least a week. I think I have another week to go, but I've been avoiding stairs. Anyway, lots of stuff. The other thing I want to say is I know this is an old kit, right? Like July 2022, it's 2023. Okay, so here's a little story behind it before we get to the cards super fast. If you don't like stories, you can fast forward. Last year we moved, and well, actually we moved a little bit before then, but last year there was a period of time, there were about 4 months when I wasn't getting my kit, and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my kit? So I'm writing Sue, where's my kit? I miss my kit. And Sue's writing back saying, oh my God, Cassie, they keep sending your kit back to us. What's going on? So I finally check and figure it out, and PayPal had reverted to our old address, and so all these kits were going to our old address. And Sue is so amazing. She put all the kits that had come back to her together in this one big box. I actually have it here. This big box. Thank you, Sue. You're amazing. And these have been sitting here because in the meantime, other kits came and I would work on them, or I'd just be so tied down with work, whatever the case was. And so I've had these kits that I haven't worked on. And now it was perfect. Oh, okay, I'm at home. Now I have these kits. And it's not a process video. I'm really sorry because all of my equipment is downstairs and I've been avoiding stairs for a week. And I was making the cards upstairs. So next time, hopefully, if I can make it back and forth, then we'll do some process videos. But there we go. So I am ready. Oh, and at the time of this recording, I checked last night, the kit and some of the components are actually still available, which is like crazy because these kits are so amazing. And this one in particular is really, really beautiful. And I'll show you why. So there we go. This, are you ready to see the cards now that I did with this Make Life Beautiful card kit? So, card number 1, and I showed this on Instagram or Facebook maybe, or both. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I showed it as these lovely birds, and it says delightful. I love this card. I just love this card because I love the birds. I love birds. And anyway, what I did is I took, there is a pattern paper with this rainbow diagonal strips, and I cut that apart and mounted it on some dark blue cardstock. And then I took a center panel, and I don't remember the exact sizes, and I took really light blue, the salty ocean one from Distress Oxide, and I actually have a Lawn Fawn cloud stamp where you color it just faintly and then move the cloud and color it again. And so I made this cloud. I don't even know if you can pick it up. It was so faint. Background. And I mounted that on there, also on the blue cardstock. And I thought it'd be fun if we could have these like birds on a wire. So I drew this line across like telephone wires. And the birds I cut out of one of the cut aparts, and then I put that on, I attached them to the wires. And the Delightful is a sentiment that came in a cut apart sheet. And so I have a cut apart sheet, and here it was Delightful. I didn't use all of them, obviously. But yeah, so it was a really simple card. And then I went in with a shimmer pen and I colored their bellies. I don't think you can see that either, but I colored their bellies. Someone posted on the Facebook group that the birds felt Scandinavian, and I agree. Like, I think they feel Scandinavian, and maybe that's why I like it, because I'm in Sweden, so Scandinavia. But card number 1, Delightful. Card number 2 is also one of my favorites. I did share this last night on Instagram, but this one has this beautiful flowers. Oh my God. Isn't that beautiful? Like, I think you should. Wow. It's so beautiful. The flower background. Probably one of my favorite card stocks in many, many, many kits is this particular flower background. Love it. And for this one, I rounded the corner, and then I also created this panel to go on, and I also rounded that corner. And it's really just white cardstock on this green background paper, and then I added 2 of the really pale pink Lizi peel-offs, the super thin one and the medium one. Then I stamped the stamp. It came with the stamp set, and it is "You Will Always Be My Friend." And here is the stamp set. And then I added, this is one of the ephemera flowers that came with, and I added it on the bottom. And then I took 3 of the little eye candy that came from a previous kit and added it up in the corner. And it's so simple, but I absolutely love this card, right? Like, how can you look at this card and not be happy? So card number 3 is also one of my favorites. And here I took one of the cut aparts. The back of the cut aparts had this stripe paper. And so I took the stripe paper and mounted it on some deep red cardstock, and this really dainty, delicate flower paper I mounted on 3 small panels. I think those are 1.25 inch, maybe 1.5 inch panels, and mounted it on the dark red cardstock. And again, I added another one of those flower ephemeras. The Be Happy is the die, one of the dies that came with the kit. And I cut it out in 3 separate cardstocks. The first one is the dark red that's behind. The second one is a pale creamy color that kind of matched. It was lighter than this line here. And the third one was white cardstock that I had ink blended with vintage photo, and then I cut it out, and then I glued them all 3 together, and I added some shimmer shine from the shimmer pen over top of the Be Happy, and then I stuck it on the card, and it brought the card to life, and now the card says Be Happy, which is kind of like a theme. Then we have the next card, also has this delicate paper background, and this one is fun. So I'm going to do this one and then this other card next. So this, I also rounded the corner here, and I took that really delicate floral paper and again mounted it on some red cardstock. These lines say "Fierce Mind, Kind Heart," and it was part of a large square that said "Fierce Mind, Kind Heart, Brave Spirit." And a square is typically, that particular size square is not really a size that I use that often, but I really loved the sayings, so I thought I'd separate them, and I cut them at a diagonal and then mounted them on the red cardstock. Well, when I put the three together, the brave spirit isn't quite the same symmetrical shape as the other two. So I just went with these two, which is fierce mind, kind heart, and added those on. And I couldn't figure out if I wanted like a strip across the bottom or a strip across the top. And so I had some white cardstock, and I was using some aged mahogany, distress ink, and picked raspberry, and just sort of blending all over. And I tried that piece and I didn't like it, but then I was looking at the background where I had done all the ink blending, and it was on this paper here, and I thought, oh, that's so pretty, I want to use that. And so I cut that out in a heart shape because it says kind heart, right? I mean, heart shape. So I cut that out and I absolutely adored it. And then the set came with these puffy stickers, which are so amazing. I love these stickers. Lizzie, you should totally do these stickers again. I have to show you these stickers now. Where did I? Oh, here we go. Puffy stickers. And I don't know if you could see, but they're matte. They're not, I don't know. Sometimes stickers can look plasticky and really bright and glossy, and it sort of creates a different tone when you set that on a card that doesn't have that feeling. And these stickers don't do that. These stickers are matte and beautiful, and they go with the cards that you make. And also they're really fun to press on. Like if you press on, yeah, okay. Anyway, so I set one of the little flower stickers here in the heart to be like, you know, the little square that people, the little highlight people put on a heart. And there we go. Card number 4. So, which leads us to card number 5. And again, here is the last of the sayings, which is brave spirit. So for this card, I took this really fun diagonal checked pink background, which for some reason it's almost quilted. It reminds me of like a handbag. That's what it reminds me of. And a really nice handbag. And I mounted that. And then I also had this strip of the little X's, and it's like a lavender. I love that. It was so much fun to use as a background because it just complements pretty much anything with all the different colors in it. And so really all I had to begin with was this and the rectangle here and the saying, which are the sentiment, so brave spirit. And then I thought, oh, well, that seems like a really empty card. What am I going to put on there? So I found this girl on a cut apart that said, keep smiling. I thought, oh my gosh, she's like perfect, isn't she? Like, she's the brave spirit. So I cut her out and I put her there, and it feels like they go together. So amazing. And then the kit also came with a die of these 3 flower, or it's a flower die, and it has this shape, and it actually has a smaller one that goes in there, but I just used the bigger one. And I went back to that cardstock again where I had the mixed ink blending, and I cut out 3 of those and I set those on top and used 3 bling drops for the centers of the flowers. And then I went in with a shimmer pen, and all I did was the highlight of her hair here. So when you tilt it in the light, there's like a little tiny shimmer because she is a brave spirit, and brave spirits shimmer. So there we go. Card number 5. Okay. Card number 6 is, oh, I finally got to use some of the string, which drove my husband crazy. He's not a string person. So this is card number 6, and it's really, really simple. Also, I had a lot of simple cards, I feel like. But I think this one had a personality crisis. Like, I couldn't, it couldn't decide what it wanted to be, which says a lot about me because I'm the one making the card. But anyway, so we have this dark green background from the pattern paper, and I mounted it on green cardstock. And really, all I had to begin with is the green background and this "Love Yourself," which I absolutely loved, cut apart. And I didn't want to cut it down. I loved the size of it and everything, so I just mounted that on some green cardstock, and then I had those two elements, and I thought, oh, great. Well, now I need something more. And so I added the hearts, and I thought, oh, that's perfect, right? Love yourself and the hearts. Oh, but I love these flowers too. So I put the flowers up there, and that was all that it had. And then I lined up the cards, and I always have my kids pick, oh, which ones are your favorites? And nobody liked this card. I mean, nobody liked this card. And I'm thinking, why does nobody like this card? And because the flowers don't really gel with the background. They're too white or okay, fine. Yeah, that's a really valid point. So I went in with green and I added some lines to the flowers. And okay, now it blends in a little bit. And then I added two bling drops and thought, well, surely that does it. And again, it's nobody's favorite. So then I found this beautiful green thread that came with the kit. And I decided, oh, what if you do it like on the edges? Like instead of here, yeah, let's do it crazy, like on the corners and put a little bow there. And so, so that's what I have done. And now I feel like the card is trying to say three different things. But it's okay because you know what? It's a fun card. And I don't think anybody's going to come and get this card and be like, well, you know, if you had done the green a little bit down here, yeah, nobody's going to say that. So it's a fun card. Card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we go to the namesake card of the kit, and this is Make Life Beautiful. And this really is a simple card. The kit came with, I have this embossing folder, Make Life Beautiful. And so I actually tried many different ways. I put ink in here, and then I ran it through, and then I put ink like splotches of water, and I ran it through, and so many different ways to see which way that I liked the best. And this is the way that I like the best. And what I did is I just ran white cardstock through with the embossing folder, and when it came out, I took very gently some Distress Oxide. And this is, I think I started with spun sugar over everything. And then I went back in with aged mahogany on the dark parts of the flower, a little bit of the berry stems here. And then I went in with pine needles, just ever so faintly on the leaves. And then I ran it through again of this dark magenta cardstock, and I cut out just the banner of Make Life Beautiful. I attached the banner, and then I went in with a Posca pen, a white Posca pen, and wrote Make Life Beautiful for the letters. Then I added the bow, which I tied two bows together, and I actually like it. I think it gives it a very dainty, romantic feel. I added three tiny bling dots up here, and then I went in with a shimmer pen, and first I highlighted the leaves because I thought, oh, everybody does the flowers. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be bold, and I'm just going to do the leaves. And the leaves were beautiful. And then I realized, now I know why everybody does the flowers. You have to do the flowers. So I did the flowers too. And that's it. But only the ones that had delicate parts to them. I left the solid ones alone. But I love this card. I think it's really dainty and beautiful and romantic almost. That is card 7. This card is one of my daughter's favorites. So This is card number 8, and this card is just got a lot of fun stuff going on. So we have the flower backgrounds, and I mounted it on this blue cardstock, and the blue cardstock is from my stash, and I used it on like 4 or 5 of the cards, and I don't know the name. It's from like a local supplier anyway. It's in Swedish. So then I also took this blue, which I had cut out a border, a scallop border from, and I have this handbaggy looking beautiful quilted diamond pattern in the background. And that's what I thought. It could be like a handbag almost with these tickets coming out of. And so I took some of the ephemera, and it said today and checklist real life. And I just loved how all these pieces were coming out of it. And then I needed a focal point here. And so this beautiful tag just caught my eye. So I added that. And I also added the magenta and the dark blue of the thread that came with the kit. It's really pretty thread. It's got like glitter in it. I don't know if you can pick that up. But, and tied a bow there. And on the background here, these are this one is gold. And then I thought, well, I like that one so much, but then I don't want a big gold. I want something a little bit different to set it apart. So I used the see-through one that has gold on the edges, the transparent one, and that's as the larger one. So there we go. Very simple card. It's my daughter's favorite, and I think my stars for life. I do. I think my stars for hospitals and nurses and doctors who really work hard to make sure that people are taken care of. And I think my lucky stars. I should have put a star on. It's a beautiful card. I love it, right? Card number 8. Card number 9. This card is really simple also. And I kept thinking of a train pass when I saw this card. And so I think I tried to kind of mimic this idea of like a train pass in my head. And what that has to do with birds, I'm not quite sure. But I took this beautiful bird background, and I love birds. Have I said that? I love birds. And I mounted it on the dark blue cardstock. And then I found this in the ephemera, which is, it says train check, and it's, I don't know, like a train ticket. It's beautiful. I love it. And I added that, and I added some red peel-offs, and then I did the scallop on the side. And then all I did here was I imagined you would give this card to somebody who was maybe taking a trip or going on a journey or going to the next phase of their life, maybe a new career step. And so all I said was good luck. And this good luck came from a previous Lizi kit, and just mounted it on the blue cardstock and added it on there. And then it felt like a really simple card. I did add 2 bling drops over here, and that's it. Really simple card. I feel like there should be more. I feel like I should have something here, but it never came to me. And I did. I tried like a million different ephemera pieces, and sometimes I think, the card is the card, and this is the card. And card number 9. There are 3 cards left, and all 3 of these are my favorite cards. And we'll start with this one. This one is, this one says thanks, and it uses the stamp, and this is like this wreath stamp. It's an open wreath. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see a wreath, there's probably people out there, maybe you're one of them, you see a wreath and like ideas come to you and you think, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I could do this and I could do that. And I can't wait to play with that wreath, and it's going to be amazing. And wow, look at how beautiful it is. And I love you for being that way. I do. I love every part of that. I see a wreath and I think, what am I going to do with that? What? I mean, just the wreath? Is that all I use? And so I struggle with wreaths. And so I tried to force myself to use something that I struggle with. So I stamped the wreath here. And this is watercolor paper, also a local brand. So it's not anything fancy. It's like the generic brands you get in the store. But it works. And what I did is I stamped it and then I embossed it with white embossing powder. And then I took 3 watercolors, also by a local artist called Julia K. Art Studio is her Etsy shop. And the 3 colors are Rosa Olden, which is this beautiful kind of green, purpley, pearlescent. You can't decide what color it is. Is it green? Is it purple? Is it something in between? And a very light green with some glitter to it called Spira, Spira. Those are the 3 colors that I used. And I went in and I don't know, just really sort of played with the water. I made it very soft and gentle. And in some places I went back in and added some darker spots and colors. And then I also went in with the rosa after or while the green leaves were wet, and I added some more of the rosa here to the green leaves to have a blending of the colors. And you know what, the thing I love about watercolor is that it's like made to be messy. So I love that it kind of went all over and there's no sense of, oh, I have to stay inside the lines. Or I love watercolor like this. And some people want to stay inside the lines, and that's okay too, because we're all different. That's what makes the world amazing. But I love it that I can be messy because I'm not so great at staying inside the lines. So I absolutely love how the watercolor came out. It's very soft and beautiful. And then when it was done, I thought, oh, I needed something on the bottom. And when I do this card again, because I will, because I love how the top turned out. But for the bottom, I'll go ahead and finish. I wrapped the thread around 3 times and then used a little bow to tie a bow. But I think the green kind of clashes with the green that I used in the watercolors. So I think next time I will do it with the same colors because I love those colors, but use maybe 2 different peel-offs on the bottom that are more in line with the greens in the card. But here we go, very soft, pastel-y, again, romantic feeling of watercolor card. This is card number 10. So this card is card number 11, bonus card. And I loved the heart paper, and I had to use the heart paper because I just love it. And I don't know about you, but I hoard paper too much as it is. Like, no, I'm not going to use it. I love it. So I'm trying to force myself use the paper. So here we have card number 11, and it's also a very simple card. It's just the background with the hearts, and I mounted that on some green cardstock. And then I took this blue paper that I've been using throughout the kit and added a very big wide band across. That might be 2 inches or an inch. Yeah, it might be 2 inches. And then to separate the band, I added some golds peel-offs. And it's actually the white peel-offs with the golds on the sides. I don't know if you can pick it up. And it's the medium width. And I added it first on the top and the bottom, and I wanted a little bit of the blue to shine through. So I didn't put it right on the edge, but a little bit before the edge. Then I did the middle one, and then once I had the middle one, I went in with this one and this one. So it created kind of a textured background, if you will. And then I took an oval die cut here, just on plain white cardstock, and I stamped the sentiment Best Friends Forever, which is the second stamp here. And then I added 2 of the little puffy hearts, so you can press them, puffy hearts, because it's perfect. And that's it. This is a beautiful card. I would love to give it to my best friend. Of course, now she's seen this, maybe. Sometimes she gets busy, so yeah, I'm still going to give it to my best friend. Isn't it great, right? Okay, card number 11. And card number 12 is my favorite card of the whole bit. I should have started with this, maybe. Entice people. Go get the kit. It's amazing. But okay, so this is card number 12, and it says, be happy, and it's one of my favorite cards. I took this wonderful purpley cardstock with the little different colored X's, yellow and blue and red and orange, and so much fun. And I used that as a background. And the kit came with 3 ephemera cups. And I'm reminded of, this will probably say my age, but back when I was at university, I worked at the bookstore, and we would get these little gift books of Mary Inglebright. And she always had these cups, like a cup full of happiness, or life happiness, or life is a cup full of happiness, or anyway, it reminded me of that. And I thought, oh, I'm going to stack those cups and it's going to be fun. And I love a coffee cup. Like, I think there should be a whole kit dedicated to coffee. There probably was at one time. I just came late to the game. But anyway, so I decided to stack the cups, and I wanted a panel in the background. So I took this. There was a cardstock that had a ombre type effect, and it had light pink, and then this dark pink, and then red, and then orange. And I wanted the section that had these 3 colors together. So I cut that out and mounted it on that blue cardstock that I've been using. I added 2 of the Sway gold peel-offs on the side to give it some shine. And then the cups, I'm ready for my cups. I was so excited to work with the cups. Okay, so for the cups, I took them and I cut a little slit in the tops so that I could stack them. And I just used a knife, like a craft knife. And then once I had them the way that I wanted them, did I do that? I think I did this before I did this. So let me back up. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I took each of the cups and I colored it with ink blending with vintage photo. And I wanted to create kind of an old look. There is a little bit of shine to these cups, not as in a glossy shine, more as a matte kind of beautiful. It was a beautiful shine, but I wanted it to look a little bit older. So I took the vintage photo and I went all over the edges, and then I cut the slits, and then I put them together how I wanted them, and then I glued them. And then once I had them, I glued them on the panel here. And then I took my Be Happy dye and ran it through the machine. And this is also twice. The blue is on the background to give it a very tiny drop shadow, and then the gold on top. And this is card number 12. This is my favorite card, Be Happy. And these are all the cards that I made with the kit. And I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. It's like 30 minutes again. I appreciate it, taking the time. And let me know in the comments which one is your favorite card. And again, if you felt inspired by these cards, then please go get the kit. It's still available at lovefromlizi.com. I am working on getting my links, the ability to post links in my YouTube channel, but there's verification task and all these other things involved, and I've had limited energy to do a lot of that stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. If you found inspiration, if there was something you liked, please hit the like button and subscribe for future updates. Thank you very much, and have a great day.